Hello, happy Thursday. I'm so glad you guys are back to learn some more math. We're going to continue working on measurement and comparing different measurements. Last time we kind of measured some things around the room. This time we're going to measure things that are on our paper. So you're going to find two really big pieces of paper in your packet, and you're going to need both of those for our activities today. You also need your cube. Our goal is I can measure to compare different things. So that's our goal. Let's get started. Before we continue with our measurement, I want us to play our game again. Remember, Mrs. Me only has 10 magnets. She has 10 magnets. I'm going to hide some behind my back. You have to use the number of magnets on the board to help you figure out how many I'm hiding. Are you ready? Let's go. How many magnets am I hiding behind my back? Think about how many magnets are on the board all together. 10. How many magnets are left on the board? 4. So, think about how many more magnets do I need to get from 4 to 10? Let's see if you're right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I was hiding 6 magnets behind my back. I knew there were 6 because there were 10 magnets altogether. There were only 4 left on the board. So if I hold 4 in my brain and count up to 10, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 6 fingers up, so I know there were 6 numbers between 4 and 10. Now, let's play one more time. How many magnets do I have all together on the board? 10. So now I am going to hide some behind my back. Okay. How many magnets were there all together? 10. How many magnets did Mrs. Me leave on the board? 0. There are no magnets on the board. So how many magnets must Mrs. Me be hiding behind her back? Let's see if you're right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I was hiding all 10 magnets behind my back. Did I trick you? I didn't think so. Awesome. Let's continue with our measurement now. The way we're going to measure today will be a little bit different than what we have been doing. You are going to need your cube and a pencil. So I'm going to use a marker, but you need a pencil instead of a marker. We are going to be measuring using just our single units. It's going to be a lot like creating a bar model. So you will not need your ruler today. Keep track of it. We don't want to lose it, but we're not going to use it for this activity. So what we're going to do is we're going to start on the edge here. Do you see how there's a little line and a little indent? That's where we want to start our cube. We're going to use this cube to measure. So I'm going to iterate, copy, or trace my cube to show how big it is. So Mrs. Me messed up a little bit, but that's all right. So I have 1 unit of 1. So we always start our rulers at 0, and then I have 1 unit to this point. Now, I'm not to the end of my line yet, so I better keep tracing. So I'm going to trace another unit, making sure I have no gaps and no overlaps. This is still a unit of 1. It's the same cube, so it's still just a unit of 1. I haven't changed what I'm using. How many units of 1 do I have? 2. So I have 2 units of 1. Now, am I at the end of my bat yet? No, so I better keep going. So now I'm going to keep tracing my units of 1 and labeling how many of them I have on the bottom, which is 3 now, until I reach the end of my bat. All right, I went through and traced my cube and iterated it until I hit this line. It went a little bit over, but I made sure that I had no gaps between my cubes. There's no spaces between my cubes. And I also made sure I had no overlaps where it's coming on top of each other. They're just right next to each other, being very precise with my cube. Notice that this does look a lot like a bar model. So I'm going to look at where this stops. This kind of stops in the middle of 10, but it's most of the way through 10. So I would use my best judgment to say that this bat was 10 units long. And it's okay. Maybe your best judgment, you don't quite think it's all the way through, so you would say 9. That is okay, as long as we are able to justify why we're saying that. Good job, guys. Now I need to measure my little ghost. Notice that instead of going how long it is like my bat, this is actually going how tall my ghost is. So we can do the same technique for how to measure, even though this is going tall instead of how long. So what am I going to need? A cube and my pencil. Remember, I'm always going to start at that bottom line. Do you see that line right there? That's where I'm going to start. So I put my cube right on that line, doing my best to be precise. Then I'm going to trace my cube. Bring it away, fill in anything. This is a unit of 1. I'm always going to start my ruler at 0. And then I have 1 unit of 1 to that point. Am I to the top of my ghost yet? No, so I need to iterate or copy my cube again, making sure to be very precise. I have 1 unit of 1. How many units of 1 do I have now? Let's count. 1, 2. I have 2 units of 1. And I'm not to the top, so I better keep going, making sure that my cube is right next to the other one. We don't want any gaps or overlaps when we measure. So there's 1. I messed up my 2 a little bit. How many do I have now? 3. 3 units of 1, but I'm not done yet. I am not to the top of my line. How will I know when to stop? I will reach that top line. I'm not going to pass that top line because that top line is showing where my ghost is. How many units of 1 do I have now? 1, 2, 3, 4 units of 1, but I'm not to the top yet, so I better keep going. Let's see. Add another unit of 1. Now I have 5 of them. I'm still not to my top line, so I need to add another unit. Let's add another one. Okay, I added my last unit. This is a unit of 1. How many do I have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units of 1. So my answer would be 6 units. Nice job. Thank you for helping me. Okay, guys. You need your 2 really big pieces of paper. You're going to do both of these papers today. You are also going to need your cube and your pencil to be able to complete these. You're going to do the exact same thing that I did with the bat and the ghost. Remember to line it up on that line and draw your cube around it. This is very important that we're being precise and really making sure that we are lining it up. Notice how my line, that first line, starts on there. So we would have 0 and 1. Because we always start measuring at 0 and we have 1 unit of 1 to that point. So you would go all the way to the end of both of those. This does ask you how many units longer. And notice that these don't start at the same place. They don't always start at the same place, so you're gonna have to do some counting and maybe some math. So you can use your fingers to help you, or you can write a number sentence if that helps you, whatever you wanna do. Some of them are going to measure how long it is, and some of them are gonna measure how tall. If it's going up and down, it's measuring how tall. If it's going side to side, it's measuring how long. And we're doing all our measurements in units of 1. So we'll keep working on that. So there's also a question at the top. So these two, we're going to circle the picture that is longer. If the word starts with an L, the word is longer. So I would circle the picture in this box that is longer. Then over here, these two boxes, draw a box around the picture that is shorter. So when you see that SH, that sh sound that we worked on last week, you're going to draw a box around the one that's shorter. So I'm going to look at these two and figure out which one's shorter. Then I'm going to circle the picture that is taller. So if it starts with a T, I'm going to circle the one that's taller. Draw a box around the one that's shorter. This is the same word we saw up there, shorter. That sh sound at the beginning means I need to circle the shorter or the smaller one. And make sure to write in the units and how much taller one is than the other. If you have any questions, let your teacher know. And I'm excited to see how you guys do. So make sure to get those pictures into Seesaw. You guys are going to do amazing. I already know, but I just want to see it. So have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys soon.